Let me tell you something. That's a war movie. That's a war movie. Hey guys, welcome to the Green Room, where we talk about movies, television, and everything in between. Today we're going to be doing a review to one of the most anticipated, if not the most anticipated, movie of the year, 2016, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Now, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story is one of the first spin-off / anthology films that we're going to be getting to the Star Wars canon. It's going to be right outside that episodic of episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Force Awakens, and it's going to be telling separate stories that are still connected, but they're more standalone to what we're used to. Rogue One is a story that follows the Rebel Alliance and the Empire's eternal struggle of who's going to pretty much be the top dogs in the galaxy. The story follows Jen Erso, who's been through some stuff in her life. Her father, who has been reluctantly recruited into the Empire to create one of the most devastating and most dangerous weapons in all of the galaxy. Say it with me now, the Death Star. Now, Jen must team up with a ragtag group of rebels in order to find out exactly how to defeat this unstoppable force in the galaxy, and they do it by finding the plans. So spoiler alert, they find the plans at the end of it. We all know that if you're any type of familiar with Star Wars. The whole point is how you get there and how you make that interesting. And the movie makes it interesting. Guys, I loved this movie. So where should I begin? Let's start with the characters. The characters are very good. I like them. Jen Erso, played by Felicity Jones, brings a lot of humanity to this role because she starts off as kind of this reluctant character, but to see her go from that to somebody who would absolutely give her life for the Rebel Alliance is something pretty good to behold, and the movie probably would have fell apart without that little bit of gravitas and humanity. So good job to her for making Jen Erso be that funnel into a great movie. You got Gabriel Luna, who's playing Captain Cassian. Captain Cassian is one of the guys who is the captain. He's like pretty much the co-lead in this movie, if you will, and he's one of those characters who's a little bit ambiguous, a little bit untrustworthy, but at the same time he does what he has to do in order for the Rebel Alliance to win, and that's a very interesting side of a character to see, and it definitely shows that this movie is a war movie first, and in war, a lot of people make questionable decisions, even the Rebel Alliance, because in most movies, the Rebel Alliance was the good guys, the Empire were the bad guys. You never really thought that on both sides there was somebody who was trying to do one thing that went against what their overall side was doing. So to see that come from a good guy like Captain Cassian, then that's pretty cool to see. It adds a little bit of humanity as well to that character. One of my favorite characters in this is Chinwe Onwe. He's played by Donnie Yen, and he's pretty much you guys have heard this before, but he's a bona fide badass. He's a blind dude who's pretty much force sensitive. He knows a little bit about the force, and he uses that in his blindness to pretty much kick a lot of stormtrooper ass. And he kicks a lot, guys. Like, he's definitely, and he gets some really good one-liners in there as well. His best friend Baze, who's pretty much think about as a Star Wars version of Rambo. I'm not joking. That blaster turret, damn. Tell me, Will Smith.
Damn.
And then one of the runaway stars in this movie is K2SO, played by Alan Tudyk. He gets the best lines, he steals every scene that he's in, and it's Alan Tudyk. What do you expect? This guy's just amazing. Think of him as like a more badass C-3PO. I actually want C-3PO to kind of disappear in the original trilogy, and you could replace him with K2SO. Can you think about the sass between K2SO and Han Solo? Never tell me the odds. I tell you what I want, homie. You got Krennic. I can't remember the actor who plays his name, so if anybody can remember, please drop it down in the comments below. But he plays a really good villain as well. Like, this is a guy who would stop at nothing to make sure the Empire gets what they need, but he's also desperate for attention and to get the credit, so that's pretty cool too. He hams it up a little bit, but I like that type of ham. It's Star Wars. What are you gonna do? I know the reason why a lot of you are seeing this movie is because you thought that Darth Vader was gonna be all up in this movie, but I'm gonna just tell you right now, he's not. 2 scenes. But man, are those a good 2 scenes. Guys, I don't, you know what? I'm gonna zip it because let my reaction be enough. Like that scene with Darth Vader, if you know it, yup. That's the Darth Vader I wanted to see, yes. All right, so now the plot of the movie is, here's the thing. First act is phenomenal. They set up the characters, they set up where you're going, Jen Erso's backstory, they set up everything that's about to happen. Now, like I said before, the movie, we already know how it's gonna end, but we need to see how it gets there. We need to be invested in how that journey plays out. And the journey plays out really good from the get-go, but in the middle part, that second act, it's a little bit dragging. Once you get the characters together, once they know what they have to do, it's kind of like a little bit of a sitting around. My fiance kind of fell asleep during it, and I really don't blame her. Once you see the end of the movie, then you really don't mind it, because you think they would use that time to kind of develop characters more, which I think is this movie's kind of fatal flaw, is that they don't develop a lot of these characters. Like, one of the main instances is Chin In-Wei's character, played by Donnie Yen, and his best friend Baze. Yeah, you get that they're best friends. Yeah, they're total badasses, but were they part of the Rebel Alliance already? Because they kind of just picked them up, and like, what made them want to join if they were not? What's their backstory, and why do they want to take out the Empire? Yeah, I mean, you could say that everybody wants to take out the Empire, but everybody has a reason, right? So just little stuff like that. But let me tell you something. That third act, the third act is probably the best third act in any movie I've seen this year, period. And yes, I'm calling it better than Captain America's Civil War airport fight. I'm calling it. It's better. It's amazing. This is war first and foremost. It looks like a war movie done in Star Wars, and I couldn't be happier. That's what I've been wanting. It's gritty, it's real, and it kind of reminded me, and I've been saying this all year, it's Saving Private Ryan in space. That's what it is, and I love it. Thank you, Disney. Speaking of Disney, Disney's not afraid to shy away from death in this movie either. A lot of people die, and they show it. It's graphic and pretty bad. But yes, guys, like, as I can say, I love this movie. It has a few flaws here and there, little pacing issues, some undeveloped characters, but hey, it's Star Wars, and I know I'm kind of on its sack right now, but it was a really enjoyable movie, and the more I think about it, the more I even start to like it. When I'm done seeing my list of movies, and I'm gonna do reviews for those for you guys as well, I'm probably gonna watch this again and think a little bit more on it now that I know exactly what to expect and what to look for. So yeah, have you seen Star Wars Rogue One? Let me know. Drop a line in the comments down below, and we'll talk about it. Until then, I'm a dude in this room talking to a camera.